Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Welcome to TCM. Ahead tonight, a lineup of cinematic adventures featuring Sinbad the Sailor, one of the mythical heroes of the Arabian Nights. We begin with a film considered one of the finest achievements in fantasy filmmaking, in many ways the Lord of the Rings of its day. From the imagination of stop-motion animator Ray Harryhausen in 1958, The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. During the 1950s, Ray Harryhausen earned a reputation in Hollywood for creating some of the most impressive creatures moviegoers had ever seen. And he made them mostly out of wire and foam rubber, then brought them to life through the process of stop-motion animation. Harryhausen plied his trade on several low-budget black and white science fiction films, including The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms and It Came from Beneath the Sea. But The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad gave him the chance to move in a bold new direction. From the time he was a kid, Ray Harryhausen had been interested in mythology, but it bothered him that the movies never showed the mythological creatures on screen. They talked about them on screen, but you never saw them. After finishing special effects work on his first feature, Mighty Joe Young, Harryhausen created elaborate sketches for a story about Sinbad the Sailor. He pitched the idea to studios all over town, but nobody saw box office potential. Finally, in the mid-1950s, Harryhausen's work on more contemporary sci-fi stories earned him the clout to make a movie of his choice. He pitched the idea again to Columbia, and with the help of producer Charles Schneer, got the green light this time. For this production, Ray Harryhausen worked in Technicolor, and he was freed from the confines of making a movie set in the present day. He could get much more imaginative, and he did. This one stars Kerwin Matthews as Sinbad, along with Catherine Grant and Torrin Thatcher. More importantly, though, it features a man-eating cyclops, a two-headed bird, a fire-breathing dragon, and a sword-fighting skeleton, all of them created by Ray Harryhausen. From 1958, directed by Nathan Duran, The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad featured groundbreaking stop-motion animation effects designed by Ray Harryhausen, who came up with the idea for the film. He was eager to design a whole host of new mythical creatures, new in that they'd never been seen on screen before. He then gave himself plenty of creative challenges. One of them was the skeleton warrior that engages Sinbad in a sword fight. For all of his creatures, Harryhausen had to hide an armature, the sort of central component which he would then manipulate to create the stop-motion effects. The key word in that sentence wasn't armature, it was hide. Concealing anything inside a skeleton was obviously nearly impossible, but he did it. He also came up with a technique to make the dragon breathe by putting an inflated bladder, rubber bladder, of course, inside the model and letting air out through a tube. The breathing had to be done in stop motion, so every time he moved the dragon, he had to let out only a little bit of air. It was meticulous work, painstaking work. It always was, but the results more than paid off, and The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad became one of the biggest hits in 1958. Coming up, another Sinbad adventure featuring visual effects by Ray Harryhausen. The Golden Voyage of Sinbad is next on TCM.
Next on TCM, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, then Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, and later, The Valley of Guanji. You bet Jurassic, TCM's on all night.